To a narcissist, they will suffer greatly and follow your every wish. In the intricate tapestry of human existence, there exists an innate longing to be acknowledged, to be heard, and to be esteemed for our intrinsic worth. But what becomes of this profound need when it metamorphoses into a perilous fixation on self? When our pursuit of validation becomes so all-consuming that we resort to deceit and harm to satiate our desires? Regrettably, narcissistic tendencies epitomize this ethical quandary, a dilemma encountered all too frequently in our social spheres. Should you ever find yourself ensnared in the web of a narcissist, the anguish it inflicts is palpable. Yet, is there recourse, a means to impart the sting of consequence? Let it be unequivocally stated, vengeance is never a commendable pursuit. However, avenues exist to safeguard oneself and delineate healthy boundaries amidst interactions with such individuals. Herein lie 10 strategies to navigate the labyrinth of proximity to a narcissist. Foremost among these strategies is the art of indifference. For a narcissist, being disregarded is anathema. Their ire is stoked when their perceived significance is belittled. Thus, demonstrating apathy, whether overtly through silence or covertly by withholding engagement, is efficacious. By negating their words and emotions, one dismantles their dominion, rendering them impotent, a fate they dread above all else. 3. Don't let their mean words get to you, and don't let them change how you feel about yourself. Narcissists often criticize others in a cruel way because they get a strange pleasure from putting them down. Some people may find it hard to ignore their comments if your self-esteem is low, but it's important to remember that their criticism only shows how flawed and insecure they are as people. 3. Boost your confidence and self-assurance to turn off arrogant people. These types of people tend to stay away from people who seem confident and skilled. Their plan is to put others down in order to hide their own flaws. They attack everyone and everything to show how much better they are. Their power to affect or control you weakens as your self-confidence grows. When you question their over-the-top confidence or sense of power, you put them on the defensive, which makes it much harder for them to trap you. Remember that dealing with selfish people in a relationship takes skill and time. The key is to take care of your own emotional health and set limits in a smart way. Because you know these things, you can keep yourself safe from the bad effects of narcissistic trickery. 4th, emitting your own happiness is one of the most powerful ways to free your ego. Because narcissists are so focused on themselves, they can't enjoy other people's success and happiness because it takes attention away from them. If you truly enjoy your own happiness and satisfaction, they will think that you don't want to satisfy their endless need for attention. Also, don't try to get approval or praise from a narcissist. Instead, put your energy into the things and people that really make you happy. Know that narcissists don't care about your happiness and actually get pleasure from seeing you suffer. This cruel behavior comes from their need to feel good about themselves. Don't let them bring you down or take away your happiness. 5th, politely refuse their requests right away. People who are narcissists can't get enough of being the center of attention and will do anything to keep it. You might want to ease the stress by giving them what they want and giving them too much attention, but this will only make them feel better about their entitlement and make them act more selfishly. The best way to fight their control is to refuse to do what they want, focus on your own needs, and ignore what they want. If a narcissist finds out they can't get what they want from you, they will quickly move on to someone else. 6th, don't listen to what they say. Narcissists often put their own wants ahead of those of others, and they will say mean things on purpose to hurt your feelings or make you angry. It's important to remember that their mean words don't show how valuable you are. They instead use language tricks to avoid dealing with their own problems and put the blame on you. Remember that you are naturally better than them, and don't let their words change how you see yourself. Keeping them from getting the pleasure of seeing your emotion makes you stronger. You should be strong enough to say no without feeling guilty. Narcissists take advantage of others because they enjoy being in charge and getting what they want. To get what they want, they bring shame on their victims by making them feel guilty, saying they haven't done enough to make them happy. The only thing you need to do to protect yourself is say no. Do not let guilt weigh you down or let their tricks trick you. Putting your own health and happiness first is important because narcissists only care about themselves. Number 8. Tell the truth without apologizing. When a narcissist tries to put down or diminish someone's sense of self-worth, the target person often gets angry and feels like they need to say sorry. But saying sorry only makes the narcissist stronger and keeps the circle of shame going. It means that you agree with and approve of their bad behavior. If being true to yourself makes you feel bad for a short time, don't say sorry. Don't let the ego make you feel less important by disagreeing with them. Stand up for yourself. Remember that respect, love, and kindness are given to everyone, no matter what the ego thinks. Their praise doesn't mean anything. 9. Face-to-face communication and responsibility. Narcissists think they are better than everyone else and don't like any kind of feedback, even if it's meant to help them. It is important to talk to them about how their actions affect other people and set clear limits. Narcissists need to be held responsible for their actions through direct, face-to-face conversation. This method not only lessens the damage their greed causes, but it also makes them think about what they're doing and decide to be more responsible. Narcissists are very good at controlling other people and taking the blame off of themselves. Often, they put the blame on other people or outside events. A big part of standing up for yourself is telling a narcissist they're doing something wrong or being rude. Doling them out with too much care might make them act worse. They might even start to avoid situations that make them look weak. Stand up for what you believe in to avoid being missiled by a narcissist. Narcissists don't care what other people think, so setting clear and unwavering limits is very important. Even if they seem nice at first, be aware that they may be trying to take advantage of you by making demands you don't have to give or asking for favors they don't deserve. Do not give in to their tricks. Simply saying no or "I'm sorry, but that is not possible" should be enough. If a narcissist keeps calling you or wants to hang out with you, you can stop talking to them or leave their presence for good. People who are narcissists work hard to protect their low self-esteem by avoiding situations that might hurt their carefully crafted image or lead to criticism. So, their efforts to keep up their facade are just as important as their efforts to make society better. If you want to get away from a narcissist, you might have to cut off all ties with them and erase them from your life totally. Remember that the best way to protect yourself from their manipulative behavior is to set clear limits and refuse to give in to their requests. Thank you for taking the time to watch this movie. If you thought it was helpful, please leave a review, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel. Your participation and help are very important to us. Hello, wonderful viewers. I'm thrilled to be back, and today's video is truly special. Just thinking about it brings a smile to my face. Why, you ask? Because the narcissist made a colossal blunder. They underestimated you. Yes, my friends, they failed to grasp the extent of your power, and we're about to dive into the delightful details. Get comfortable, grab a snack, and let's explore. So, how did they make this mistake? Well, they erroneously believed they could control and manipulate you indefinitely. They thought you'd keep falling for their toxic tactics, the gaslighting, the mind games. But oh, what a massive mistake on their part. Did they not realize your intuition and sharp insight? Gradually, you exposed their true nature, and not only did you recognize it, but you also put a decisive stop to it. Let's be clear. The narcissist invested time and effort trying to deceive and undermine you. But now you stand tall with boundaries, standards, and clarity. No more being taken for granted. You're no longer a victim. You've reclaimed your power. The narcissist underestimated your strength, unable to fathom the lengths you'd go to restore your well-being and dignity. Today, we're celebrating that strength, the power within each of us. So, let's raise our spirits high and revel in this joyful video together. Your power and knowledge should never be underestimated. Did the narcissist not realize they were playing with fire by messing with you? Oh, how clueless they were, thinking they could play their games forever, manipulating and abusing you on every level. They took so much from you, left you feeling worthless, small, and insignificant. Do they genuinely believe they can get away with this? Certainly not. Allow me to share a truth. Throughout the entire time, they projected their insecurities, flaws, and shortcomings onto you, as if engaging in a twisted game with the sole rule being to take everything you possess. However, both you and I know this assumption lacks factual support. You, with your intuitive understanding, perceived the truth and steadfastly refused to buy into their lies. We've all faced trauma and challenges, yet you always sensed something was amiss with this individual. From the very beginning, your intuition whispered to you, though doubts occasionally crept in, questioning, "Am I overthinking this? Maybe they're not so bad." Nevertheless, your intuition remained a constant companion, planting the seed of knowledge within you. It illuminated the fact that despite outward appearances, something wasn't right. You maintained keen observation, witnessing every occurrence and experiencing the accompanying negative emotions. Your engagement with yourself and synchronization with your emotions were truly remarkable. Remember this: navigating the twists and turns of life is possible only by relying on your inherent wisdom and intuition. The audacity of the narcissist led them to believe they could perpetuate their entitled and distorted ways without facing consequences. They assumed you were too naive to discern their subtle manipulation, viewing your emotions as a mere tool for their exploitation. A clever illusion meant to convince you of your supposed feebleness. It was all just a game to them. They distorted reality, weaving a deceptive web of lies and twisted narratives, arrogantly confident that everyone could be brainwashed like them. Immersed in an alternate fantasy world, they tirelessly worked to manipulate your emotions, pushing you to a point where distinguishing truth from their lies became nearly impossible, and their version of reality felt like your own. However, their critical mistake lay in underestimating your strength and knowledge. You were not a pawn in their twisted games. With your intuition and inner wisdom, you comprehended their actions, recognizing the menacing nature of their behavior and its impact on you. Despite their belief that they could control and diminish you, you stood firm, refusing to let them undermine your worth and destroy your confidence. What the narcissist failed to grasp was that they were projecting their flaws and insecurities onto you, and their illusions crumbled in the face of your intuition and inner understanding. Despite the trauma and challenges, you remain resolute and connected to yourself. You acknowledge that the narcissist's actions were unacceptable, and you vow never to tolerate such mistreatment again. Guided by your inner power and wisdom, you continue to live in your truth. Stand tall in that knowledge, understanding that nothing can diminish your inherent power or worth. The narcissist's arrogance knew no bounds as they presumptuously believed you would forever remain oblivious to their manipulative tactics. They saw your emotions as an easy target, assuming they could effortlessly mold and distort you to suit their desires. Living dangerously on the precipice between fantasy and reality, they wove a perilous web of lies, anticipating your compliance with their distorted way of life. Their relentless efforts aim to bend and warp the truth, coercing you to adopt their skewed perspective. Initially, their manipulations took hold, but deep within, you sensed the wrongdoing of their actions. The narcissist believed they had successfully broken you, trapping you within their manipulative web indefinitely. However, they couldn't have been more mistaken. Their constraints did not stifle your capacity to heal, grow, and emerge stronger after enduring such torment. You surpassed their expectations. They assumed that analysis alone constituted true healing, but little did they realize that genuine recovery stemmed from self-awareness and self-actualization. It necessitated revisiting, reassessing, and reconstructing everything in your mind, free from the confines of their distorted fantasy world and grounded in the harsh realities of life. Their love for the fantasy world blinded them to the possibility of true healing as they recoiled from confronting the reality of their twisted personalities. For them, living engrossed in the world they created was the only way to exist, perpetuating a cycle devoid of genuine self-awareness and growth. You, however, refused to let their delusions dictate your life. Utilizing your inner strength and wisdom, you liberated yourself, not only surviving but thriving. While the narcissist remains ensnared in their own illusions, you flourish and grow in ways beyond their comprehension. The narcissist remains stagnant, unchanging, and non-evolving. Like a predictable clock, they repeat the same behaviors, recycle experiences, and manipulate different individuals in a never-ending cycle. They lack genuine connection with themselves and others, instead inhabiting a separate reality constructed upon an inherent need for control and domination. When they subject their victims to their twisted ways, they realize a crucial element. They need their victims to immerse themselves in a fantasy world. Night and day, they toil to ensure that their victims never escape this illusion, employing the basics of brainwashing. Continuous lies, the fabrication of alternate realities, and a calculated effort to prevent the truth from emerging define their manipulative tactics. You might question the motivation behind such harm. It's simple. They don't want you to leave. Their aim is to maintain power over you, keeping you perpetually around. In their strategic mindset, trapping you means securing a continuous supply of your validation and attention. They have no intention of relinquishing their grip. Once they have you where they want you, the idea of seeking new individuals loses its appeal. Their malevolent scheme aims to keep you entranced and under their control. However, you've broken free. You exude strength, power, and wisdom, impervious to any narcissist's attempts to breach your resilience. Your life is unbound by their manipulative chains, limitless in potential, while they remain confined in their self-created hell. The narcissist is aware that they cannot indefinitely retain you in their subterfuge. They understand that, eventually, you and other victims will discern their distorted methods and acknowledge a fundamental flaw in their character, that something is seriously amiss. In response, they craft schemes and plots, utilizing every available tool to ensnare you in their dark and twisted fantasy realm. They believe that prolonging a person's stay will validate the effectiveness of their manipulations. However, no matter how much time they invest with their victim, reality prevails, and the victim inevitably sees through the deception. The harsh truth is that people, including close family members, eventually leave. The narcissist fails to grasp that their fabrications can't indefinitely retain individuals. Sooner or later, the victim becomes aware of the underlying issues with this individual and decides to step away, even if they may have been missiled into lingering for a brief period. Yet, the narcissist remains oblivious, incapable of comprehending the extent of their twisted methods. They believe they have outsmarted everyone, convinced that no one can penetrate their web of lies. Little do they realize that people intuitively sense that something is awry, even if they cannot articulate it precisely. However, you were different. You saw through their falsehoods and recognized a fundamental flaw in their character. Although you couldn't precisely pinpoint the issue, your instincts alerted you that something was off. You took a step back, assessed the situation, and discerned the reality unfolding. The narcissist, in their miscalculation, believed they could ensnare you indefinitely, anticipating that you wouldn't see through their deceit or summon the strength to heal and progress. Yet you defied their expectations. Breaking free from their entanglement, you overcame their intricate web of lies and forged ahead, leaving them in your wake. However, the narcissist refuses to let go. They persistently observe you, lurking in the shadows, meticulously monitoring your every move. Their fixation endures even post-breakup, and they can't resist keeping tabs on you. This unsettling and distressing game can make you feel confined and powerless. But rest assured, you're not alone in this journey. I offer one-on-one consultations to support you during this challenging time. Additionally, there's a mentorship program and a journal club that can complement any counseling or therapy you're undergoing. Don't forget our free Discord server, providing a space to converse with others who have experienced similar situations in a welcoming environment. It's akin to a peer support group, a sanctuary where you can feel secure and supported. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope this message brings you encouragement. Remember, support is always within reach, and you are not alone. Farewell. In the intricate dance of emotions, narcissists tiptoe on the precipice, viewing feelings as a perilous weakness and potential threat. Their parental landscape, barren of encouragement in their formative years, morphs into a struggle to articulate emotions as adults. The conviction that strength is the currency for respect surrounds them, for what could be more dreadful than the absence of admiration and regard? A warm invitation echoes through the corridors of understanding. Welcome to this cinematic exploration, tailor-made for those intrigued by the enigma of narcissism. In today's feature presentation, we delve into the mystique of silence, distinguishing between administering the silent treatment to a narcissist and finding yourself on the receiving end. We, unlike our narcissistic counterparts, do not shroud ourselves in silence to manipulate affection or attention. Unraveling the art of effectively employing the silent treatment on a narcissist, we venture into the realm of speculation on the responses one might anticipate when words cease to flow. In the vast tapestry of existence, narcissists weave their threads ubiquitously, presenting a formidable challenge to those seeking to steer clear. Understanding the art of evading collaboration with these enigmatic beings becomes invaluable, recognizing that not every contract extended by a narcissist is a pact worth signing. To shield oneself from the emotional tumult orchestrated by a narcissist, one must summon the courage to stand tall, resisting the urge to respond to their advances or betray any inkling of concern. Our version of radio silence diverges markedly from the narcissistic playbook. A narcissist might wield this tactic as a weapon, a means to punish and dominate those in their sphere. When confronted with rejection, criticism, or any form of challenge, the narcissist retreats into silence, a shield against the storm of accountability, plotting their next move or securing their supply. In this intricate narrative of human dynamics, the silent interplay unfolds, revealing the divergent paths of those who wield silence as a weapon and those who embrace it as a shield. In the mysterious realm of the narcissist's sudden silence, a foreboding plot unfolds, and its intentions are rarely benevolent. When the narcissist opts for silence, it's not a mere pause, but a malevolent act designed to inflict harm. Their quiet reverberates with meanness, cruelty, and an underlying current of ill will. Yet, paradoxically, our response is not rooted in malice, but in a desperate quest for self-preservation, a strategic retreat into silence, the art of going grey rock, or any other measure that shields us from the emotional tempest conjured by the narcissistic storm. Trusting the narcissist proves a colossal misstep, a realization etched in the tapestry of our experiences. The dance with narcissists is fraught with peril, a delicate tightrope walk that demands caution and resilience. Anticipating the narcissist's attempt to test the limits, we brace ourselves for a barrage of words and actions aimed at unsettling our emotional equilibrium. Simultaneously, we must remain vigilant, recognizing the narcissist's potential to accuse us of mental abuse and neglect should we choose silence as our shield against their machinations. In their twisted narrative, our silence morphs into intentional deception, a deliberate act of betrayal. The truth, however, is that narcissists lie indiscriminately, weaving a fabric of deceit in every interaction. Another facet of the intricate dance with narcissists lies in their reluctance to swallow their own bitter medicine. As we maintain our silence, the narcissist, bewildered and fretful, grapples with the discomfort of our non-response. Our refusal to cater to their emotional needs exacerbates their predicament. In this intricate choreography, silence emerges as our most potent weapon, a shield that denies them control, for they can only manipulate us when we willingly expose our true thoughts and feelings. In this enigmatic theatre of the mind, the silence we wield becomes our art, a means of self-defense against the narcissist's calculated attempts to hurt and control. Paradoxically, we become the supposed villains when we, too, employ silence to safeguard our well-being. In the realm of silence, we wield a shield against the desires of narcissists, thwarting their attempts to manipulate and control. No power play is at work here. It's a strategic retreat for the preservation of safety, the paramount concern that eclipses all else. Self-care emerges as the guiding principle, an unwavering commitment that should not be compromised, especially in the face of a narcissist's attempts to instill guilt. The art of ignoring a narcissist is a nuanced dance, distinct from embodying narcissistic traits, no matter the labels they may fling our way. Silence, when employed, is not always an act of personal harm. Rather, it becomes a fortress against the narcissist's attempts to weave their manipulative web. It's the most effective means to reclaim control and halt their incessant attempts to intrude upon our emotional landscape. In the intricate dance with narcissists, ignoring becomes a potent tool to curtail their influence and cease their persistent interference. Refusing to grant them access to our thoughts and feelings denies them the emotional reactions they crave. Allowing a narcissist into our lives exposes us to the mind games they play, draining our mental and emotional reservoirs. By resisting their attempts to elicit emotional responses or understanding, we force them to seek alternate paths, diminishing their ability to manipulate our thoughts and feelings. In the face of name-calling and hurtful remarks designed to tarnish our reputation, the strategy is clear: give them nothing. Expect their attempts to incite a reaction, but stand firm in the commitment to avoid being drawn into their toxic drama. Narcissists, surprisingly, are more repelled by those who actively avoid them, an outcome that aligns perfectly with our goal of distancing ourselves from their harmful influence. If the tactic of the cold shoulder or grey rocking proves effective in silencing their chatter, so be it. Our mental and emotional energy is too precious to squander on those who seek only to drain us. It's a proactive stance to safeguard ourselves from the myriad ways in which narcissists can inflict harm if left unchecked. Empowerment lies in our hands to proactively thwart any attempts by them to disrupt our path once more. My earnest desire is to advocate for everyone to take decisive steps to distance themselves from narcissists. It's crucial to recognize that the influence of narcissists only extends as far as we allow ourselves to be emotionally entangled with them. Maintaining a calm demeanor when navigating interactions with narcissists is paramount, as their modus operandi thrives on seizing control if given the opportunity. That concludes our discourse for today. I trust you've gleaned valuable insights from our discussion. Feel free to share your thoughts by leaving a comment below. Your viewership is deeply appreciated, and I hope you take away something meaningful from this cinematic exploration.